Good morning. Good morning. This is the morning show with H2O and Dr. Butterfly. And then this morning we have a case study, which would be something that I will start doing. Matter of fact, my new book, that this is kind of how my new book is formatted. There's real live case studies and the it shows the process of counseling in the real live case study. So I will read well first before I get started, since earlier I wasn't it didn't show up on my Facebook. I'll start with just we will have Wednesday. First Wednesday will be the Houston two step. That will be next Wednesday. We Houston two step with Darren and Tamika. We'll be getting those advertisements out. We have the world's largest coming up July the 31st through August the 2nd. On the Friday night, to start out, welcome people to Houston, will be Ron Brown. Um, then that will be at Legacy Bar and Venue. Saturday day party will be um, Stepping Collective. That's Grace and Brandon. And then Saturday night is the prelims, which we will be doing, and I know Joyce will be DJing. Sunday will be and that will be at the studio, 7511 South Freeway, and then Sunday will be back again at Legacy. So so Saturday the whole day will be at the studio, the entire day. Classes. We have Trina Allure coming. We have the DJs. We have David. We have Lady Love from Chicago. Who else do we have as DJs?
Lady Love, Jack.
Oh, Jack in the Box. So anyway, today I will be reading a therapy case study for the morning show with H2O and Dr. Butterfly. When feedback feels like rejection. Let's see what this case study is showing about. This is what the type of things that people come to counseling for. Most of the time, people come to counseling. It's not crazy people. First of all, I specialize in relationships, so that's what most of my clients are. But this is a 42-year-old female, married 15 years. Monica sought counseling because she felt her husband was constantly criticizing her. She reported feeling hurt, defensive, emotionally disconnected, and emotionally disconnected whenever he offered suggestions or expressed concerns about household responsibilities, communication, or parenting. What was happening? During sessions, Monica described comments such as, I wish you would tell me when you're running late. Can we work together on the budget? I feel ignored when you're on the phone during dinner, which this would be very nice if people actually came to people like this, but this is typically not. In real life, this is not how most people come to people. In real life, that I wish you would tell me when you're running late would have been, you always late, and you you don't communicate. You always late and you don't, or you just always late. It won't say what the person wish. This is how I actually try to teach people how to have positive communication, is to say something like this. I wish you would tell me when you're running late. Because that tells a person how to fix a problem. But that's typically not how people actually come to people. I wish you would tell me when you're running late. That's not how people do. That would be a more positive communication style. Can we work together on a budget? See, something like that, that would be, instead of people saying, yeah, all you do is spend money, you know, we never can save anything because you constantly spend money on frivolous stuff that you don't actually need. Hey, Devin, turn the kitchen light off on frivolous things you don't actually need. That's how people actually come to people. A positive communication, a way to have positive communication would be to say this: can we work together on a budget? And then the next one is, I feel ignored when you're on your phone during dinner. That's a positive communication tool. But usually the way people come at people is just say, you don't spend no time with me, you don't have time for me, you always got better things to do. I don't feel like a priority. I'm not important to you, this kind of thing. I thought you were supposed to be coming on the thing. What are you doing?
Um,
Something totally
my
different?
camera blocked.
Oh, okay. Although her husband viewed these requests for change, you can go on your phone, can't you? Monica interpreted them as personal attacks. Her typical response was to become defensive, withdrawn emotionally, or counterback by pointing out his flaws. Over time, both partners felt unheard and resentful. So that's what the case study that the computer gave me, but that's not a true case study because that's not how people come to counseling. People come to counseling usually because they are just complaining. They're not making requests. This is actually making requests, which is a good thing, but that's usually not what happens. So the clinical observation. As therapy progressed, it became clear that Monica had experienced significant criticism growing up. Her father frequently pointed out mistakes and rarely offered praise. As a result, her nervous system learned to associate feedback with shame and rejection. In adulthood, even constructive feedback activated the same emotional response she experienced as a child. And usually, when people are reacting, a lot of times it is based on things that have already happened and not based on what is actually in the moment. And so, one of the things that I do teach is learning how to accept feedback, and not just learning how to accept feedback, but learning how to elicit feedback, like ask for feedback. How's everything going? How am I doing? So anyway, let's see if it's H2O got any thoughts about this the case where the husband was telling her that you know that she's getting home late and she don't tell him when, or if she's running late, she don't let him know she's running late. He's giving her feedback, but she is feeling rejected when he gives her feedback,
Um,
when he complains about it. Which complaining is still a form of feedback, but it's just not the brick. It's not the best form of feedback. But complaining is a form of feedback. But he's saying that stuff like you spend too much money, you be on your phone too much. Well, you ain't involved in it anyway, so
well, the thing is, no, I'm here. I'm trying to get my camera up. You see, it says it's blocked.
right.
Browser blocked it. So that's what I was trying to work on.
You
So,
in an old computer.
huh?
You in an old computer.
No, this is a new one.
No, I said you could have went on the old one, huh?
Yeah, but we're on yours. So, I think your camera's not a little bit blurry.
Oh, probably.
Like, so, in this type of situation where feedback is not being heard by him, and she's thinking that he's complaining, and she's not adapting to feedback. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, like he's telling her you be on your phone too much. You be you don't tell me when you're running late. So I'm not able to prepare because you're not telling me when you're running late. Uh, and you spend too much money. And that's the feedback he's giving. But she's feeling. Uh, I mean, a lot of people feel defensive, but she's feeling rejected
Mm-hmm.
because he talking to her. Giving her feedback. She don't see it as feedback. She just see it as complaining.
Right, right, right. So yeah, and what? So what is the question you're asking me about?
What do you think about that? The inability for people to take feedback.
Inability for people to take feedback.
Yeah, like or people feeling like feedback is something else. They feel like feedback is complaining. They feel like feedback is, you know.
Well, I mean, that's a problem. So the thing is, how you're approaching the situation. Like we're having meetings, you need to call a meeting and say, "Hey, let's sit down. We're gonna all sit down and talk." So that's one of the reasons why I did call a meeting because I need to know exactly how everybody in the household is doing. Now, once we call the meeting, we don't talk about our marital problems at all. We only talk about family issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, you got to gain control of the entire household first to try to start talking about problems. If you think you got out of order over here, out of order over here, you got to get everything in order, and then start working on issues, situations.
Well, one thing when the parents are fighting, because I have a lot of people come to me lately with that. So when parents are fighting, the kids don't listen anyway. I'm just saying, like the kids are just doing, they just pinning people against each other, going to, So parental fighting creates a lot of problems in households. Period. Where kids are not going to listen to you. When y'all be fighting all the time, they want to take one person's side. They want, if it's a boy, he wants to take up for his mama. Sometimes he wants to side with his daddy, whatever. But the kids feel like they have to take someone's side. So,
Right.
but that's we were just talking about. Well, here's another one where feedback feels like Marcus, a 38-year-old married man, sought counseling after repeated arguments with his wife Danielle. He described feeling that she was always attacking him when even when she was simply expressing concerns. One evening, Danielle said, I wish you would help more with the kids' bedtime routine, which this is not, like I said, this is what they got on this thing, but this is not how people come at it. People will come at a man usually and say, you don't do nothing around here. All you do is work. And some men feel like this. If I go to work, I shouldn't have to do the rest of this. So, but a woman will say, you don't do nothing around here. I do everything for the kids. That's a common thing a woman will say. I do everything for the kids. And I always tell women that you can't say you do everything for the kids because, I mean, if the man is working, he is providing financial support. So you're not doing everything. You just took like 100% of his credit away, of the credit away. Now you could say, like this person said, I wish you would help more with the kids' bedtime routine. That is a positive level of communication where you have broke down exactly what could help. But that's not what people do. What people do is say, you don't, I do everything for the kids. I do all the home, what they'll just say that they'll say, you don't contribute to the kid, to helping with the kids.
Right.
So what if a person say that? If you live with a woman and y'all raising the family and they say you don't do anything to contribute to helping with the kids, what does that feel like?
So it depends if it's true.
See, I do it all. See, I do it all when it comes. I do everything. When it comes to the kids, I do everything.
I mean, it depends. So that could be somewhat true, though.
It could be, but I always tell women you're not doing everything if a man.
Yeah, they're not doing everything, but if
a man paid the lights, the water, half of the mortgage or all the mortgage, then you can't say you're doing everything because actually you're not doing everything.
Correct.
You could feel like a single parent. The woman would be like, well, I feel like I'm a single parent. Well, you're not a single parent because single parents are also paying the bills by themselves.
Right, and they are absolutely doing everything by themselves as well. So
there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? But you can feel like that. Okay, is it true? So it's not true when they saying that. So I say because you have taken that happens. This is a common case. The ladies will say he don't do anything around here. You can't say he don't do anything if he's working and paying bills.
Right.
Because there are single women, there are single parents, and you can't compare yourself to a single parent if you have someone paying the mortgage.
Correct.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Because a single parent is paying the mortgage and doing everything for the kids.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You really just downgraded the single mother because people, ladies say that. That's a common thing for ladies to say. I feel like a single parent. I'm washing the kids' clothes. I'm, doing this. I'm doing that for the kids. I'm the one getting them up from school. I'm the one taking to their doctor's appointment. I'm the one do this and that. The better thing would be like what this thing said. I wish you would help more with the kids' bedtime routine. Is to break it down with what a person can actually help with, rather than saying, I feel like a single parent, I'm doing it all by myself. That's not going to work. Right. Somebody working 16 hours a day, but you say you feel like a single parent. A single parent ain't got a husband working 16 hours a day.
Right. Yep.
Unless he taking 16 hours a day and drinking and spending the money and they paying no bills.
And that would be the downgrade to the single parent. We're not going to say single mother because we have just as many single dads. Well, not many, but we do have single dads, just like we
Right.
have single mothers. So we're going to say that would be somebody says I'm doing all this by myself, and they're really not. You know, I was doing most of that by myself. I did take care of my mom, so she did watch my kid while I was there. So that's a little different. But whenever someone says they're doing it all by themselves, I mean, and they're married, depending on how the marriage is going. You know, if that person comes home at nighttime and he bypasses his kid, you know, you're not helping with the well-being side of our children. That may be able to be said. You know,
Right.
something
Break it
like
down.
that. You're not helping with this portion of our children, you know. So that
And that could be a true statement.
right, correct.
But what a man will hear a lot of times, if you say pretty much make any kind of complaint, is that if someone points out something I did wrong, this is what the guy's saying. It means I'm feeling. Do you think that's true that a lot of men can feel like that? If someone points out something I did wrong, it means I'm feeling.
Okay, I got you. So you said if somebody points at you, no, that don't mean you feeling. That means you just need to really listen and figure out what we're talking about. You know, that's not a fail. That means you need to sit down and listen and figure out, hey, how can we address these situations? I mean, so it's, you know, and some people would feel like, oh, this is a failure.
Right, because some people do feel like that. If you can point out anything they did wrong, they feel like they done everything wrong. Nothing I do is never good enough for you. That's a lot of men feel. A lot of men tell me that. Oh, I try to help my wife. She asked me for help. I tried. She still complaining. So nothing I do is ever good enough for her. So I stopped trying. I be telling women that. Like a lot of men had that complaint. I try to do stuff for her, but nothing I do is ever good enough. So feedback is a problem, though. So one of the some things that I find to be a big problem with people is invalidating people. So, you know, when people do have a complaint, you say, a man will say, well, she just keep complaining about stuff that's not important.
Right.
Okay. What do you say? Take on that. What a man says. She keeps complaining about stuff that's not important.
Well, every complaint is something is important to every complaint. You know, something is listening to every complaint. Now, if they keep beating the horse in the ground, keep complaining in the same thing and not allowing you to fix it, that's another scenario. That's another issue. But if she's allowing the individual to be able to fix it,
if they breaking it down to what they need, that's good.
Right. Because
you will call it machine gunning quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that'd be one thing.
No.
You're machine gunning.
No. When it's more than one thing and it keeps going on.
But that's what gets a lot of people really upset is because they have their own belief that if someone points out something I did wrong, it means I'm not doing a good job. It means I'm failing. They're not seeing anything that I do. They don't talk about the things that I do right. I wish that's just the whole thing that they just feel like, or nothing is too good. That's a common thing that men say. Nothing I do is ever good enough. So then they shut down. You already know. When you hear that, you already know that a man is starting to shut down. Nothing I do is good enough. That don't mean it's not. That just means sometimes a woman will point out the other whatever she wanted to go right. But I be trying to tell women stop pointing out something. If he did it, let him do it his way and let that be good enough. If not, he's not gonna do it, period. So anyway, I'll see y'all later. I'm about to get to some other things that I have going on over here. Some working out in my garden and checking out the backyard. See y'all soon.
Bye. See y'all.